today's breakup topic: how to use breakups as a benchmark for your identity evolutions. So, identity can be comprised of everything that you are, the way that you think, the way that you speak, the way that you behave, the way that you respond to everything. It's made up of who you are on a day-to-day, right? And we have identity shifts that happen throughout our life. And let's just kind of distill it down into the simple idea that you had an identity pre-breakup, you had an identity during a breakup, and you took on a new identity after the breakup. And this idea of being able to use a breakup as an identity benchmark, because when you find yourself encountering the thing, person, place that you broke up with, it allows you to see who you were against who you are now. And we don't always see our progress. We as humans like to normalize things. We can be struggling with something in the past, and then as soon as we get through that and overcome it and we move on to the next thing, we sometimes forget the details of it or how far we've grown. Our new baseline is who we are now. And so when we're comparing this who we are now against who we are now, there doesn't always seem to be a lot of progress, right? And that could be very frustrating. But if we take something as recognizing what breakups we've had in the past and then see who we are now against those past breakups, we can see how different we are. We don't maybe think the same things. We don't spend our days the same way. We don't react in the same way to certain things. And so there's this concept of, using a breakup as an identity benchmark to be able to fuel yourself to continue to step into an identity that you truly desire. And how can you continue to take initiative in making breakups in your life to be able to have these benchmarks of, that's who I was, this is who I am now. Okay, this is who I am now. I'm breaking up with that so I can move forward into the next of who I want to be. And then just constant evolution and getting you closer to your desires and your goals. So a really great thing that you can do to see your own progress, to fuel your continued growth, is to make a list of 5 breakups that you've had in your life. And it can be either with a person, a romantic partner, a friend, maybe a coworker, a boss, whatever, a person. It can be a place. So maybe you lived in a certain city or a certain home or a certain country at some point that you no longer do. That can be a breakup. And then patterns that you've had. Maybe you used to, for me, I used to have a habit of chasing boys, right? I loved being in a relationship. And so I was constantly, chasing, and I no longer am that person, right? I stepped back, and the moment I stepped back is when the perfect partner came into my life. I love you, Mike. And then the other one could be just limiting beliefs, right? So the patterns we have, the beliefs we have, maybe feeling like you're not lucky or you're not enough. Maybe that's something that still is very front and center for you now. So looking back at what you used to believe that you no longer believe, or things that you used to believe about yourself that you no longer believe about yourself, right? So finding 5 breakups that you've had in your life, and then from there, being able to just identify, who was that person? Who was that person at that point in time, right? So if you're saying maybe you broke up with a job, okay, well, go back to the person that was in that job, the person that maybe tolerated a certain behavior from a boss or the company, or just the job responsibilities. And so you have your breakups, then you have the characteristics of who you were during those phases in your life, and then take a look at where you are now and see the difference. See again how you've changed, how you evolved, or see how maybe there hasn't been as big of an evolution, and maybe you're still tolerating these things that you really don't want to be tolerating. Maybe you're still doing things that you really don't want to be doing, right? This is the perfect opportunity to help you understand how you can shift, how you have shifted, and how So let's reverse that. How you have shift or haven't shift, and how you could shift, right? And if you've seen yourself shift, then you have proof that you are able to do it. And so that should be able to help fuel you in continuing. And if you haven't made the progress that you would have liked, or you see it and you're just like, oh, I'm still the same person, you aren't. I can say for a fact you aren't. There may be some same patterns, but you aren't the same person. It's just not maybe as noticeable. And the question, ask yourself, how long do you want to continue to go on like this? How long do you want to be that person? So this exercise really about understanding identities, understanding how breakups shift your identities, using breakups as a benchmark for how much you've been able to shift, or using it as a reminder to not continue down a certain identity if that's not what you want. Yeah, I'd be really curious if you do this exercise to know how it felt for you, what came up for you. As always, like, I'm available, message me. Love to be able to help you through this if that's something that you're actually interested in. And yeah, we'll stop there. Okay. I love you. Take care, and let me know what comes up for you.